Ladies, what if I told you that right now, as you're watching this video, there could be a silent deficiency slowly attacking your nervous system, causing that mysterious tingling in your hands, that brain fog you can't shake off, or that exhaustion that no amount of coffee seems to fix. Here's the shocking truth. Up to 40% of adults over 40 have some level of B12 deficiency, and most don't even know it. The scariest part? Your regular blood work might come back completely normal while your nerves are literally starving. This isn't some rare condition, honey, this is happening to millions of women just like you, and the medical system is missing it every single day. If you're tired of feeling tired, if you're wondering why your memory isn't what it used to be, or if you've been told your symptoms are just part of aging, then you absolutely need to watch this entire video. I'm about to share something that could change everything for you, and I promise you, by the end of this, you'll have the knowledge to potentially turn your health around completely naturally. Before we dive deep into this life-changing information, I want you to do something really important for your health journey. Hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel is dedicated to bringing you the most cutting-edge, science-based natural health solutions specifically for women like us. Every week, I share practical, safe, and effective strategies to help you age gracefully, maintain your energy, and prevent the health issues that nobody talks about until it's too late. Your future self will thank you for making this simple choice to prioritize your health education. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like your body was trying to tell you something, but you just couldn't figure out what? Maybe you've been experiencing symptoms that seem completely unrelated, but they're all pointing to one crucial deficiency that's been hiding in plain sight. This is exactly what happened to my friend Sarah, a 52-year-old teacher from Ohio. For months, she was dealing with numbness in her feet, memory issues that were affecting her work, and a fatigue so deep that she could barely function after 3 p.m. 3 different doctors told her it was just stress, just menopause, just life. But Sarah knew something wasn't right. Here's what's absolutely mind-blowing about B12 deficiency and why it's so dangerous. This vitamin is essential for your nervous system to function properly. Think of B12 as the protective coating around your nerve fibers, like the insulation around electrical wires in your house. Without enough B12, that protective coating starts to deteriorate, and your nerves begin to misfire. The signals between your brain and the rest of your body become fuzzy, weak, or sometimes don't get through at all. But here's where it gets really tricky, and this is something most doctors don't realize. The standard blood test for B12 that most physicians order only measures the total B12 in your blood, not how much your cells are actually using. You could have what looks like normal B12 levels on paper while your cells are literally starving for this crucial vitamin. It's like having a full gas tank but a clogged fuel line. The gas isn't getting to your engine where you need it most. Dr. Sally Pakalak, a leading expert on B12 deficiency, has been shouting from the rooftops about this for years. She's seen thousands of patients whose lives were transformed simply by addressing this one deficiency properly. The tragedy is that so many people suffer for years with symptoms that could be resolved relatively quickly with the right approach. Let me paint you a picture of what B12 deficiency really looks like in real life, because the symptoms are often dismissed as just part of getting older. You might experience that pins and needles sensation in your hands or feet, especially at night. Your balance might be off, and you find yourself being more careful on stairs or uneven surfaces. Your memory might feel foggy, like you're thinking through cotton. You might feel breathless doing activities that used to be easy, or experience heart palpitations that come out of nowhere. The mood changes are particularly heartbreaking. B12 deficiency can cause depression, anxiety, irritability, and mood swings that seem to have no cause. Imagine how many women are being prescribed antidepressants when what they really need is proper B12 support. Sarah told me that before her B12 deficiency was properly addressed, she felt like she was losing herself. She couldn't concentrate at work, she was snapping at her family for no reason, and she genuinely thought she might be developing early dementia. Now, here's what you need to understand about why this deficiency is becoming so common, especially for women our age. First, as we get older, our stomach produces less acid, and you need adequate stomach acid to extract B12 from food. Second, if you've ever taken medications for heartburn or acid reflux, those can severely impact your ability to absorb B12. Third, certain medications like metformin for diabetes can deplete B12 levels over time. But there's something else that's crucial to understand. If you follow a plant-based diet or have reduced your meat consumption for health reasons, you're at much higher risk for B12 deficiency. Now, I'm not saying you should change your dietary choices, but you absolutely need to be aware of this risk and take appropriate steps to protect yourself. The connection between B12 and your nervous system goes even deeper than most people realize. This vitamin is essential for producing myelin, which is literally the protective sheath around your nerve fibers. When you don't have enough B12, your body can't maintain this protective coating, and your nerves become vulnerable to damage. The scary part is that once nerve damage occurs, it can be permanent if left untreated for too long. Think about it this way: if the wiring in your house started to deteriorate, you wouldn't ignore the flickering lights or the outlets that stopped working. You'd call an electrician immediately because you know the problem would only get worse. Your nervous system deserves the same urgent attention. Here's where the story gets really interesting, and this is something that could change your life. The most common form of B12 found in most supplements and even prescribed by many doctors is called cyanocobalamin. But here's the thing: your body has to convert this synthetic form into the active forms it can actually use, and guess what? Many people, especially as we age, aren't very good at making this conversion. The active forms of B12, called methylcobalamin and adenosylcobalamin, are what your cells actually need. These are the forms that can immediately go to work protecting your nerves and supporting your energy production. It's like the difference between being given ingredients to bake a cake versus being given a cake that's already baked and ready to eat. Your body can use the active forms right away without having to do any extra work. Sarah's transformation was remarkable once she started supporting her B12 levels properly. Within just 2 weeks, the tingling in her feet started to improve. Within a month, her energy levels were better than they'd been in years. And within 3 months, her cognitive function was sharp again, and she felt like herself for the first time in over a year. But here's something really important that I want you to understand. B12 works best when it's part of a complete approach to nervous system health. It needs other B vitamins to function optimally, particularly folate and B6. It's like having a team where each player has a specific role, but they all need to work together to win the game. Magnesium is another crucial player in this story. This mineral is essential for nerve function and helps B12 do its job more effectively. Many women are deficient in magnesium as well, especially if they're dealing with stress, which depletes this important mineral rapidly. When you combine proper B12 support with adequate magnesium, the results can be absolutely life-changing. The timing of when you address B12 deficiency is critical. The longer your nerves are without proper support, the more difficult it becomes to reverse any damage that's occurred. This is why I get so passionate about this topic, because early intervention can prevent so much suffering and permanent damage. Now, I want to address something that might be concerning you. Maybe you've had your B12 tested and your doctor said it was fine. Here's what you need to know: the reference range for B12 that most labs use is incredibly wide, and what's considered normal might not be optimal for you. Many functional medicine practitioners prefer to see B12 levels much higher than what conventional medicine considers adequate. There's also a more accurate test called methylmalonic acid or MMA that can detect cellular B12 deficiency even when regular B12 blood levels look normal. This test measures a substance that builds up when your cells aren't getting enough usable B12. If you suspect B12 deficiency, this test can give you a much clearer picture of what's really going on at the cellular level. Let me share another story that really illustrates how dramatically B12 can impact your life. Maria, a 58-year-old grandmother from California, came to see a practitioner I know because she was experiencing severe depression and anxiety that seemed to come out of nowhere. She'd been put on 2 different antidepressants, but nothing was helping. Her family was worried about her, and she was starting to feel hopeless. When they checked her MMA levels, they discovered severe cellular B12 deficiency despite normal regular B12 blood work. Within 6 weeks of proper B12 support along with the other nutrients her nervous system needed, Maria felt like a completely different person. Her mood stabilized, her energy returned, and she was able to enjoy her grandchildren again. She often says that proper B12 support gave her her life back. The food sources of B12 are important to understand, but here's the reality. If you already have a deficiency or absorption issues, trying to correct it through food alone is usually not enough. The best food sources include grass-fed beef, wild-caught salmon, free-range eggs, and nutritional yeast for those following plant-based diets. However, the B12 in food is bound to proteins and requires adequate stomach acid and digestive enzymes to be released and absorbed. This is why targeted supplementation becomes so important, especially for women over 40. But not all B12 supplements are created equal, and this is where many people waste their money on products that simply don't work effectively. The sublingual forms that dissolve under your tongue can be more effective than pills that have to go through your digestive system, especially if you have absorption issues. Some practitioners recommend B12 injections for people with severe deficiency or absorption problems, and these can be incredibly effective for getting levels up quickly. However, high-quality sublingual supplements with the active forms of B12 can be just as effective for many people and are much more convenient for long-term maintenance. Here's something fascinating about B12 that most people don't know: your liver can store several years' worth of this vitamin when your levels are optimal. However, once those stores become depleted, it can take months of consistent supplementation to rebuild them. This is why people often don't see immediate results and give up too soon. Your body needs time to replenish its stores and begin the repair process. The connection between B12 and energy production is absolutely crucial to understand. This vitamin is essential for your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, to produce energy efficiently. When you don't have enough B12, your cellular energy production slows down, leaving you feeling exhausted no matter how much you sleep or how much caffeine you consume. Think of your mitochondria as tiny factories inside each of your cells. B12 is like a key supervisor who makes sure the energy production line runs smoothly. Without this supervisor, the factories can't operate at full capacity, and you feel the effects throughout your entire body. The impact on cognitive function is particularly concerning for women our age. B12 deficiency can cause symptoms that look remarkably similar to early dementia, including memory problems, confusion, and difficulty concentrating. The heartbreaking thing is that some people are being diagnosed with cognitive decline when what they really have is a treatable nutritional deficiency. Recent research has shown that maintaining optimal B12 levels throughout life may be one of the most important things you can do to preserve cognitive function as you age. Your brain uses an enormous amount of energy and is particularly vulnerable to B12 deficiency. The good news is that when you address the deficiency properly, cognitive improvements can be remarkable. I want to make sure you understand that addressing B12 deficiency isn't just about taking a supplement. It's about creating an environment in your body where B12 can be properly absorbed and utilized. This means supporting your digestive health, managing stress levels, ensuring adequate sleep, and providing your body with all the cofactors that B12 needs to do its job effectively. Chronic stress is particularly damaging to B12 status because stress hormones interfere with absorption and increase your body's need for this vitamin. If you're dealing with ongoing stress in your life, whether it's from work, family, or health concerns, you likely need more B12 support than someone living a more relaxed lifestyle. The relationship between B12 and sleep is another piece of this puzzle that's often overlooked. B12 plays a role in regulating your circadian rhythms and supporting healthy sleep patterns. People with B12 deficiency often experience insomnia or disrupted sleep, which then creates a vicious cycle because poor sleep further depletes B12 levels. Here's something really important for women going through perimenopause or menopause. Hormonal changes during this time can affect how well you absorb and utilize B12. The declining estrogen levels that occur during menopause can impact your digestive health and nutrient absorption. This is one reason why symptoms that you might attribute to menopause could actually be related to B12 deficiency. The cardiovascular connection is another crucial aspect of B12 health that affects women particularly as we age. B12 works with folate to help process homocysteine, an amino acid that can damage blood vessels when levels get too high. Elevated homocysteine is a risk factor for heart disease and stroke, conditions that become more concerning for women after menopause. When you support your B12 levels properly, you're not just protecting your nervous system, you're also supporting your cardiovascular health. It's like getting two incredibly important health benefits from one targeted intervention. I want to address the elephant in the room that many women face, being dismissed by healthcare providers when you know something isn't right with your body. If you're experiencing symptoms that could be related to B12 deficiency, don't let anyone tell you it's just in your head or just part of aging. Trust your instincts and advocate for proper testing, including the MMA test I mentioned earlier. Remember, you know your body better than anyone else. If you're experiencing new symptoms, changes in your energy, mood, or cognitive function, these are signals that deserve to be taken seriously and investigated properly. The beautiful thing about addressing B12 deficiency is that it's one of the most straightforward and safe interventions you can make for your health. Unlike many medications that come with long lists of side effects, proper B12 support is generally very safe and well tolerated by most people. Now, if you're finding this information valuable and you can see how B12 deficiency might be affecting your health, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel and ring the notification bell. I'm committed to bringing you the most important, cutting-edge information about natural health solutions that can truly transform your life. Your health journey is too important to leave to chance, and having access to this type of information could make all the difference in how you age and how you feel every single day. The transformation that's possible when you address B12 deficiency properly is truly remarkable. Women tell me all the time that they feel like they got their lives back, that they feel more like themselves than they have in years. The brain fog lifts, the energy returns, the mood stabilizes, and that scary tingling or numbness begins to resolve. But here's the thing, and this is really important, B12 is just one piece of the nervous system support puzzle. While it's an absolutely crucial piece, your nerves need a complete spectrum of nutrients to function optimally and to repair any damage that may have occurred. This brings me to something really exciting that I want to share with you. In my next video, I'm going to reveal the complete protocol of vitamins and nutrients that work together to repair and protect your nervous system naturally. We're talking about the exact combination that forward-thinking practitioners are using to help people reverse nerve damage, eliminate neuropathy, and restore proper nervous system function. You'll discover which specific forms of these vitamins work best, the optimal dosages that research shows are most effective, and how to combine them for maximum benefit. I'll also share the remarkable story of how one woman completely reversed her diabetic neuropathy using nothing but targeted nutrition, and her doctors couldn't believe the transformation. This is information that could literally save your nerves and transform your quality of life, so make sure you watch that video as soon as it comes out. The title is The Top Vitamins to Repair Your Nerves Naturally, and it's going to be the perfect next step in your journey to optimal nervous system health. Your future self will thank you for taking action on this information today.